Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. It's Monday the 18th of January 2021, and the reason I'm putting the date on it is so you know this video is fresh. One of the main things, we're going to talk about a couple of things just quickly. There's something really important before we do. This video is mainly going to be about which battery to choose. It keeps coming up again and again. What battery should I get? Which battery? What size? What brand? What type? There's a lot, so we're going to try and get straight to the point on that one. But before we do, there's a really important video. If you haven't seen it yet, we put out a couple of days ago. We're trying to help Bill. There's a lot of people that have seen it, right? It's called, that's what it's called. So just have a search. That's the thumbnail. Watch this if you have, what does it say? Watch this if you are kind. Free engine, because obviously if you are kind, you will want to just chuck in 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks to help out. And you might be kind and not want to do that. That's fine as well. And it's how to get a free engine, because with this awesome community in 4x4 Diesel, the VIP group, we've already raised over $3,000 in a couple of days. Our target's about 12 grand to get an engine for Bill. He's been unfortunate, and that's what we do in this group. And I'm sure there's a lot of people watching that will eventually get there. And we mentioned in this video, watch this if you are kind, free engine, most important video to watch. Okay, so have a look at that one. You'll know where we're at. I'm letting you know some feedback. Really appreciate from a few people that have contacted us in text message, and you can do that if you want to just quickly. I haven't got time to sit there and go, a big long stories of their own. I'm trying to squeeze in what I can. We really appreciate everyone's assistance, and I'll put a video out to let you know once we've raised the target and it's all under control and how it all went. There'll definitely be feedback there. So batteries, let's get on to batteries. Batteries, which battery? Batteries, so many choices. All right, so let's get to the point on batteries. To answer the question for all the people that have said what battery, whether it's on our Facebook groups, on the YouTube channels, whatever the case may be. Now, it's a big answer, unfortunately. I'm going to try and get short and straight to the point, but I need to explain why quickly as well. So we'll try and keep this one the shorter version. And of course, if you want the detailed information, check our YouTube channel playlists. There's one called battery information. Watch all of those, and that's maximum information. That's where you get it all. This battery, the reason I'm using these batteries, obviously the private hospital is closed at the moment. We only work school days, school hours. That's for vehicles. With parts, we try and do parts, it's capped and casual. It's only a day, a week here or there, or we might be away for a couple of weeks at times, or in and out, and it's very casual at all times, to be quite honest. I know a lot of people experience some awesome service. You contact me, I send you the order, you pay, and it's sent the same day, and that happens at least 90% of the time. But you got to understand, you don't know when we're taking holidays and when we can't do that. So allow for delays and plan ahead. Don't sort of go, I need my injectors in 2 days, and order them 2 days before. Plan ahead, even a month or two before. Say, hey, I'm just going after a bit of a price guide, some information. I'll send you the video, and then you can plan towards budgeting for that and plan in advance. Let me know when you're thinking of ordering. I can let you know if that's a problem. Anyway, we've gone completely off topic, but it's all good information for most people. This battery, this is the stock standard original battery, right? If I remember correctly, YUASA, GS YUASA, right? Awesome batteries, and the problem is they're just too bloody good. Now, in the older Prados, they were actually a little bit longer, and I've seen them in these vehicles lasted 7 years. Now, so the short answer is, if you have a Prado or any similar vehicle that you're using, to take the kids to school and back and go shops and back and all the usual run around, and you're not going away touring or you're not going away on dirt roads and it's just to start the car, they're an awesome battery to keep. Now, don't keep them 7 years. The average life of a battery is 4 years. I'd suggest those batteries at about 5 years, you're going to need to replace them. But obviously do some testing and see where they're at. Your standard lead acid battery like that's the go. I really like those. Every battery in Heidelberg, they're really awesome with batteries and battery information. You can get a hold of them, talk to Travis, go down and see him, grab a battery. They've got Panasonic batteries, which they believe are very good, and I think they're probably very good too, because they look the same. So I don't know if YUASA is making them for Panasonic or vice versa or what, or they just happen to look identical, but they're black top like that with a clear cut, look very similar. So I don't know the information there. In the comments, if you know more than me about it, please explain who makes them for who. They're bloody good batteries. That's about enough on those. You need different information if you're touring or you need an auxiliary battery. So many different options in batteries, but we know the Optimas are bloody awesome. They are absolutely awesome. That's why we've got them. This is our 120. We run a set of Optimas. We've had Optimas before. We've heard all the stories. We've seen all the stories. We know how long they last. bloody absolutely awesome batteries. Now, I know a lot of people want to push other types of batteries at the moment that are more expensive and all that, but the experts are telling us that it's not quite there yet. They don't like heat under the bonnet, okay? And give it a little bit longer. And it seems that they're going to be cheaper, even though they're 700, 800, 1,000 or more, because they last longer in life, if you know what I mean. But if they're telling you this battery lasts 500 cycles, this is not a deep cycle battery, but I'm just giving an example, and battery X lasts 1,000, another battery lasts 2,000, well, if it's not true and this lasts 2,000, then the other battery's not really cheaper anymore, is it? So the point is, the reason we go for Optimas, they're strong, okay? If you're traveling on corrugated road, outback roads, rough roads, you want a battery that's not going to fall to pieces, and that can happen with a lot of other types of batteries. The Optimas are really strong for reliability on those rough roads, okay? They also recover, they last pretty well as in cycle time, and they recover quickly as well. So you run the vehicle a short period of time and they do come back really well. But that's not what this is about. This is a cranking battery. So this is a really reliable cranking battery. So this is another option. If you didn't want to, if you go, okay, the black top with a white that we just showed you before, that's not for me. I go full driving in the high country and I'll bang it around a bit. Then you're probably better off. This is I've said it before in other videos, this is a 34R red top. These are only for cranking. If you've got a winch and you're going to winch off it, you're probably better off to go for a blue or yellow, which happen to be the same. It's just blues for marine, yellows, whatever, and the blue's got the extra terminal, so I like the blue because it's got the extra terminals on top, right? We'll get to it right now. Okay, there it is. There's the blue. What's it called? A D34M or something. Let me see. What is it here? Whatever. It's only 55 amp hours. Some people are going to go, oh, it's too small, whatever. Now, there's so many variables to answer this question, so I hope you can appreciate that. So it's got the extra terminals on top, so you can just connect your wires to there. You don't need to, that's just the battery, the earth to the body, and obviously the red one to the isolator, whatever. This is the most reliable, cost-effective setup. The batteries last longer than anyone's going to tell you. They cycle well, they recover well. You can hammer them, you can run them down. They come back with the SBI 12, it's reliable. If you're running accessories like fridges and you want to run it with your accessories off, you need a dual battery setup. These are the batteries in general that I'd recommend. There's lots of variables. If you're running as a freezer, it's going to hammer your battery. The colder you make it, the more it's going to hammer your battery. The hotter the weather, the more it's going to hammer your battery. The more you put it in the sun and the heat, the more it's going to hammer your battery. So I can't tell you, is this battery okay for you? It's okay for me. I can tell you that I can park it in 30, 40 degree heat and come back. I can park it on Tuesday and come back on Thursday and the fridge is still running. The battery's down below 12 volts. Fridge is still running, right? It's got the angle that doesn't cut out when the voltage goes low, and when it sort of has that low voltage spike downwards, when the compressor cuts in, it goes momentarily 11.7, it doesn't cut out, okay? You don't want to keep running it down to like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You can, people have done it, but you don't want to do that. Okay, these batteries I like. We've got another option. How funny is that? There's so many options, but these are the batteries I like. This is my choice, you know, so what am I going to tell you to go and buy something that I don't know or I don't use? When you've got something that's good that you know works, why change it? When the evidence is there, it's like the BFG tyres. Why change them? They grip awesome off-road. I know there's better tyres for on-road, but without going off topic, I'm just trying to give you an example. We know those cranking batteries, the black top one that comes standard in the Toyotas, the YUASAs, we know YUASAs are good batteries, right? They're good for that purpose. We know the Optimas are good. That's the package for the Optimas. If you want something a bit bigger, this vehicle, our setup is, we've got 2 fridges running that we're concerned we're going to use more power. They're just drawer fridges, they're only small. So really, just because there's 2 doesn't mean it's going to use double, because the space is half the size, it's only going to do half the work. So it's not going to use half as much being smaller though, but it's somewhere in the middle, right? So we had concerns that the 55 amp hour Optima may not be enough, and we wanted to try something else, and we heard this dual force was being engineered to compete with the Optimas, and it's a 90 amp hour battery, and it fits in the 2019 GX just nicely with this tray. It doesn't rub on anything, because you can go for a 75, I think it is 75 amp hour as well. Saves you about another 50 bucks in price as well. These are all awesome value for money batteries. That's the short answer on what I'd go for. This one's doing really well. We haven't used it a lot, but what I'll say so far is it does maintain and hold its voltage charge well, running 2 fridges overnight. The typical voltage the next day, 12.3 volts, and that includes running other little LED lights and voltmeters and stuff, which is not that much different to the 120 on the Optima that's running a fridge. Everything's similar. It'll be typically about 12.4 volts the next day, right? So not much difference. This one's running 2 fridges, remember, okay? Of course, it stays up more if you switch the fridges off. I'm trying to give you some examples. So it varies greatly on what battery. These are the batteries we like. If you want something bigger capacity, because you want to run a freezer or a bigger type fridge and you're concerned 55 is not enough for you, give these a go. They've only been out a year or two. We think they're good. All the feedback's good. We're testing it. We welcome you to test them. Every battery Heidelberg, remember, they'll look after you. Speak to Travis if he's there. Every battery's got branches other places in Australia as well, and they'll ship batteries out to you anyway. Just say Oz Prado Crew, okay? Say Oz Prado Crew, Oz Prado. Can you hear me? Oz Prado Crew, right? Have you got? If it doesn't make any sense, say I think I'm going to need to talk to Ray. Ray, you know, and Ray can sort it out, because all the shops are meant to know when you say Oz Prado Crew, you get a discount, you get the right advice on the batteries, right? There's other batteries that may suit your needs. If you want lithium or whatever, go for it. We need people to test out those lithium batteries as well. And we've got one of our Prados that's also got there's different batteries, but these are my choices. These are my 4 main choices. I hope you got the picture. Anyone that's going to help out Bill, we really appreciate that as well. I don't expect everyone to. Don't feel like you have to. It all depends on your position. If you're blessed, the maximum we want is $50. Anything from $20 will do. Small amounts from lots of people will get the job done. We'd rather do that. We get this awesome community. If anyone has an issue, major mechanical issues, we can even maybe extend to doing this to for other big things as well, if it happens. But you know what? There isn't any big things. Awesome cars. Anyway, I'm out of here. Starting to talk too much. Hope you appreciate that. We've got more battery info on our playlist. And the other tip is, make sure you subscribe on 4Before Touring Australia, because a lot of this touring vehicle type info that's not so much mechanical, a lot of it to do with solar panels. Like right now, you know, we've got a solar panel connected to this battery and 2 fridges running, and all the R&D and the testing and the examples of showing you things that can happen and do happen and don't happen, how long batteries last, what charges to use and all that. A lot of that's going to be on the other channel now. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'm out here. See ya. Bada bing, bada boom. All right.